Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm giving Martin as many knights as he needs to beat me. We'll start with 15 knights and add some each game. I'll start with d4. I'm pretty excited about this because knights are just such slow moving pieces that I feel like I can just take one and he probably won't even take me back. So the sheer amount of knights that I think it's going to take him to actually get into my position, much less get near my king, is going to be humongous, I think. Knight c4 does threaten b2, but that's just a free pawn, so I'll keep taking. All right, so he takes back. We'll go ahead and defend the pawn on b2 with queen c1. We get knight to f6, and we'll go ahead and hit this knight with e3. Great, he doesn't see it. We'll take. We'll take. He doesn't even take back. We'll take on e8. Sure, that's mine as well. Finally, he takes back. Okay, develop the next piece. It's funny because this is exactly how you're not supposed to play chess. You're not supposed to play by developing one piece at a time and then letting it go do its best. And then once it gets captured, moving on to the next piece. That's like the antithesis of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to develop all of your pieces towards the center, castle, and then you're ready to attack. But things are different with Martin. We can play e4 here and pick up a free knight. So it's just a different strategy with Martin. We'll play check, take this knight, take that knight, take this knight, and okay, we can't take this one, it's defended. So now we develop another piece. Pretty straightforward, knight to d8. Go ahead and long castle for kicks. King to d7. Ooh, scary king coming towards the center. We'll go ahead and just push these pawns. Keep pushing. Check. Pick up the knight. And I just have to be careful not to stalemate him by accident. Should I promote to a knight for kicks? No, I'll grab my queen. All right, knight to c8. We'll go ahead and dive in with check. 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 It's got to be mate. All right, let's go ahead and give him 4 more knights, I think. All right, I went ahead and gave him 4 more pity knights because honestly, he could use them. So we'll go ahead and start with d3. And he's already giving one of them away. We'll take knight to d6. I can't take it, so I'll just develop my knight. Knight to g5, I can take. And I'll just keep taking. Actually, one of you guys mentioned that as long as I take and it's not check, I can usually keep taking. So let's see. I'll take here, because if I took here, it'd be check. So I'll take down here. Okay, knight to c5. Let's see, if I takes, that would end in check. So maybe I should take, and then take like that. Okay, knight to e5, so far so good. Knight to f5, I mean, he's just letting pieces go left and right. Okay, what's best here? If I take and take, that ends with check, which is not the end of the world. We've taken a lot of knights. If I take and take, that doesn't end with check, and then I get to keep my knight on the board as well. So we'll play that, takes, knight to e7, and we've kept our knight on the board. Nice. Let's see, how do we develop here? Let's start with e4. Okay, we get king to f7, we'll take. He actually does recapture, surprisingly enough. We'll go ahead and develop another piece. Knight comes back to f6. Let's develop to e3. Okay, knight to f4, I think I can just take. Great, king to e7, we'll take on e5. And now we'll take on c7. I could take here as well, but that would be check. So, okay, he actually does recapture there, which is fine. We've won a lot of knights on the way. Play bishop d3, hit this knight, and pick up that knight. Nice. Okay, this strategy is actually pretty tough. I don't think he's going to be able to stop us yet. I'll play rook to e1. Okay, now what do I play? I'll dive in with check. And I really just need to set up for mate here because he's not going to be able to defend himself. Okay, we'll go check. Knight blocks, but we take with check. King comes towards the middle. Queen d6 is check. And then rook to e1 is not quite mate. But now it is. All right, let's go ahead and give him 4 more knights. All right, he's back now with a grand total of 23 knights. I mean, more than enough to work with. But we'll continue with our same strategy. I'll start with d3, and I'll dive in and start picking up knights. Okay, and as long as he's not creating any new threats, I should be good to just take basically every knight in my path. So I'll take, he takes with check, we'll just recapture. As long as I keep some pieces near my king, just like in the general vicinity, I should be good here. So I'll take. Knight to b4 doesn't actually threaten anything. We'll take. Knight to e7, I'll take back. That's a free knight. Okay, he finally does recapture, so now it's time to develop another piece. Let's go with this knight. Okay, knight to d4 does hit the queen, so I have to move, back to c1 is fine? Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, knight to f5, we'll start with this capture. Knight to a5, we'll continue on d4. That's a free knight, we'll take. Take on f5. I mean, he's just giving away every piece. Take. I'll take here too. Why not? Sure, I'll take back with check. And I'll pick up this knight, which is free. Cool. Pick up the knight on a6 as well. Knight to d6. Okay, I think it's finally time to develop another piece. We'll go knight to f3. We get knight to e6 in response. I'll go ahead and activate my rook. Why not? Knight to c7. I could just sacrifice my rook, to be honest. It's not like he's going to do anything about it, so we'll just take. Okay, knight he takes with the wrong piece. He should have taken with the king, but he takes with the knight instead, so nobody's defending this guy now. Nobody's defending him, and nobody's defending him. How the mighty fall. We'll go ahead and play queen to g7. Develop some more pieces, so we can go ahead and just set up mate here in a sec. Okay, he moves just out of the way. I was going to play queen d7, which is mate. We'll go ahead and bring the rook out as well. Knight to e7, sure. And how do I force mate here? By pushing my pawn, of course. I just push. And I'll take the... Is this stalemate? No, I'll take the knight. And mate. All right, let's give him 4 more knights again. All right, we're giving him lots of knights to work with here because, I mean, he's really struggling to stay afloat. We'll start with d3 again. Okay, we'll take this knight. Strategy hasn't failed us yet. We'll take back. Knight to d4 doesn't actually threaten anything, although knight to b4, knight to c2 could be annoying. It would be an accident if he did play here, but it would be problematic. Let's see, knight b4. If I don't address it right now, I'd have to play knight to a3. Knight to b5 could remove the defender, but then I have rook to c1, so I should be okay. We'll take on g7. That is free. Knight to f5. We'll keep taking knights. Okay, he takes with check. I'll take back. Knight d4, I'll take. Still hasn't taken me back, so I'll take on b6 because there's more knight potential over here than there is on this side of the board. So we'll move over to the queen side now. King to e7. I'll take on c7. Knight to e4 is free, walks into a fork. Knight to f4, I can take back. Knight to b4, I'll take on b8. Okay, finally he gets the threat. But we can still play knight to a3 like we talked about. That's free. All right, and we'll continue with our knight spree. If I take here, it's with check, so he'll probably take back. So I'll take on a7 instead. Oh, he actually did take back anyways. Okay, fair enough. We'll go ahead and develop the bishop. Get somebody on f3. Cool, he plays knight to g5. How do I keep this going? Knight to c4. Technically would have lost a pawn, but this is Martin. We'll take back. Now we have 2 defenders, and we have no problems. a3, so we can look for b4 in a second here. Cool, b4. We grab space, but we also grab a knight on the way. Okay, we get knight takes. Let's develop. Ooh, I can long castle check. Extra fancy. All right, how do I start hitting more pieces here? Queen to a4, see if we can pick up d7. Looks promising. Okay, knight to e5, he actually defends it, but walks into a fork. Knight takes, I'll take the defender, and he does take back. We'll go ahead and play rook to g1 here. Oh, actually, kind of sitting on knight c3. Let's see, rook g1. If knight c3, I can play check. King to f6 is probably most challenging. I don't see how I would get out of that. I kind of just put myself in that situation for no reason. Okay, actually, I have a better idea. Rook to g1. If knight c3, I can play check. Hits the king, hits the knight. There's no way to defend the knight. Okay, rook g1. We do get knight to e6, which means this is free, so I'll take it. Knight to c5. Looks like it welcomes queen to e8. Yeah, I feel pretty welcome here, so I'll play check. King to f6. And there might not be a mate here just because of the sheer number of knights that he has hanging around. But we'll start picking up some pieces, I think. Knight b3 is check. King b1, knight c3. Okay, so king b2, knight c3 can't happen, and there's no more checks. Because if knight b3, king b2, takes, drops this knight. Cool, we'll take the knight on h8. Check, king b2, just like we calculated. Takes. Okay, and he doesn't bother taking back, but now we can take the knight on b3. Okay, knight to e7, we'll take on e6, honestly, because why not? Knight to c6, there's got to be mate here in a second. Check, check. Just kind of bringing everyone into the attack. Check, and mate. All right, nice. Let's go ahead and give him 4 more knights. All right, Martin now has 4 times 8 is 32 minus 1. He has 31 knights on the board. And honestly, I'm equally confident that we'll win this one. So we'll start with d3, the same idea. Takes. Sure, I'll take that as well. Sure, I'll take back. Knight to e3 is free. Actually, I should probably take it with the pawn. Okay, take. Knight to c3 is also free. I mean, he just hands them out. He's just like, take all of my knights. I don't need them. They're yours to have. We'll just keep taking. And as long as we don't expose our king too much, we should be totally fine here. Okay, we'll take on d7. Okay, he finally takes back, so we'll choose a different piece to start taking with. Takes, give me all of your pieces, and he finally takes back. Okay, develop the bishop, and then maybe I can stick my king in a corner with castles. Okay, we'll take on e6. I'll take on f5 because it's kind of an aggressive piece. I'll take on c4, takes. This is not actually threatened, so I'll take. Apparently he thought it was threatened. Okay, let's see if we can get promotion here. If I take here, he just recaptures, so I should promote in the corner. Okay, we get knight to g4. I think that's our first promotion, actually. We'll go ahead and castle away from all of our problems. Knight to f2 is free. f5 is free. b8 is free. We'll go ahead and pin this knight so we can take this one without an issue. So we'll pin the knight. Knight to d6 we can just take because that's not actually defended. Knight to f6 creates that escape square for the king, but we'll still take with check. We'll take. Might as well start sacrificing pieces to break down his defenses. Check, check. If I take, that's stalemate. Okay, so we'll play check on g1. Take with check and mate. All right, let's give him 4 more knights again. All right, after this, I'm probably going to have to slow down on how many knights I'm giving him. I didn't think we would make it this far. I just figured he would overwhelm me faster than this, but turns out it's kind of a challenge, I guess. There's no real threats here because both of these are defended. And those are the only double attacks that start at the beginning of the game. They both have bishops on them, so it should be fine. We'll play d3. Takes, takes. Takes, takes. Still a fork. Takes, I'll take with the pawn. Okay, knight to g4. This is the biggest issue, so I'll remove the knight that's in the center. Okay, he does recapture. We'll take again. Knight to f4. Doesn't actually threaten anything new, so I'll just keep taking. Okay, knight to d3 is free. We'll take it. All right, I think we can take on g6 now. Actually, maybe I should take towards the center. That makes more sense. If I take towards the center, both of these are check after. So maybe I should take it this way to take free knights all the way. Okay, this threatens to remove the guard, but afterwards there's no follow-up, so I'll keep taking. Knight to c5. I can feel that the position is getting a little bit overwhelmed. We've thinned out the king side pretty well, but the queen side is still a bit of an issue. We'll take on c4. See if we can start another capture spree. This knight is not going anywhere, so I'll keep taking. Ooh, he actually takes back. That's kind of an issue. Let's play bishop takes h6. Knight to d3 is check. That's supported as well. I forgot to look where this knight was going. I just brushed it off as a recapture. Okay, let's play king to f1 and king to d2 are pretty much the only options. King to f1 is kind of scary because check takes check takes check wins the queen. Forced as well. Because there's nowhere I can move my king. And if I play king to d2, basically any of these knight movements is mate? Yeah, oh, okay. King to f1 is forced, basically. No, he sees it. Okay, he sees check. We'll take. He takes again. We'll take. And that's mate. All right. It took Martin a total of 35 queens to defeat us. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And I will see you guys for the season finale that will be giving Martin basically a bazillion pawns until he defeats me. I'll see you guys in the next one.